Hey everybody, it's Robin here, Senior Leader with Epicure. I am just about to make dinner for my family tonight, and I thought it might be worthwhile recording a little bit of it so I could show you one of the meals that we make at home. One of the things that my husband, who is an American, loves is a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and I am super excited about Epicure's Philly cheesesteak seasoning to be able to make that a little bit easier and healthier for us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to adjust this camera so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing. Okay, so what I've done so far is I just bought a steak, regular steak from the supermarket today, from the grocery store, and I have pre-sliced it into some pretty thin pieces, as you can see. You can also, just a tip to get some really nice thin sliced meat is to put that in the freezer for like 15, 20, 30 minutes before you actually slice it, so you can get a really nice thin slice. If it's a little bit more frozen, you can use the mandolin slicer to get a really nice thin slice there. Or for me, I prefer to use my ceramic knife, my chef knife that Epicure has. Whatever works best for you is gonna work great with this meal, but you wanna get a nice thin slice. So beyond that, we're gonna do some peppers and we're going to do some onions. So I'm just gonna do a quick chop of the onion. And get that all separated. So I like to have like a more, I like a little bit of onion flavor when I'm doing it. So they're like a wider chop, but you can dice it up if you'd like a finer chop to your onions. Just gonna add that to my bowl here. Anyways, we're gonna add the pepper. So I'm just gonna chop that up. And again, I'm just gonna do that into slices. I love my chef knife. This thing will glide through just about anything. The thing to remember with Epicure's ceramic knives is that it is sharper than steel, but they are not stronger than steel. So you want to make sure that you're using it with your softer veggies and meats. Don't try to pry a can open with it or use it to pry apart frozen chicken breasts. It will crack or break the tip. This will break. It also comes with a nice guard so that you can help keep it safe in your drawer so things don't knock against it and break it that way. Favorite item of mine. Everybody needs to have at least one. I have multiples. Okay, so we've got our peppers. Adding that to the bowl. I'm gonna toss that. I've got about a tablespoon of olive oil that I'm just gonna pour in there. And then I'm gonna add our Philly cheesesteak seasoning. What I love about any of Epicure seasonings really, but especially this one, is if you're buying a store-bought variety of this, you're gonna find that a lot of them have a ton of sodium in them, as well as other items and ingredients that maybe you can't pronounce, but also aren't that great for you. Epicure only uses real food, and they are sodium conscious, so they're only gonna add as much sodium as necessary to make this meal actually really tasty. And if you're someone who is typically used to a lot more salt, you may find that it needs a little bit more. The good thing is you can add your own amount of sea salt in there or your own amount of salt, whatever you kind of add it to taste. So you can add a little bit more flavor if you need to, but if you're not someone who adds a lot of salt to your diet anyways, then this is great for you, especially if you're trying to watch your salt intake. So I'm just tossing that seasoning in there. You can see I've got that nicely coated. And then I'm gonna toss this onto our sheet pan with the sheet pan liner. This silicone liner makes cleanup a breeze. Also with baking and stuff, it really helps to reduce the amount of times that you burn cookies and that kind of stuff. So if you're a challenged baker that sometimes has difficulty keeping from burning things, this is an investment you might want to look into. I know it has saved me a few times, and it is so nice to be able to clean up bacon cooking on here or other sticky messes. If you're cooking other meats, it can kind of coat on there a little bit. This is great that way. It'll just clean right up with a little bit of soap and water and keep all your juices in. So it's gonna save your sheet pans from kind of that brown grossness that they all tend to get after a lot of use. So I'm just spreading out the meat and the veggies on here. And I'm gonna pop this into the oven at 375 for 15 minutes. And then we're gonna move to the next step after that. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. My timer has just gone off. I'm just about to take my Philly cheesesteak out of the oven. I'll show you how beautiful and delicious does that look, right? So we're almost finished our meal. Put that down there. I've got here just some, I don't know, hoagie buns, you might call them, or sausage buns. Anyways, I'm gonna pile them full with my meat and veggie mixtures. Make sure I get peppers in there and some steak. They look so good. And I'm just layering these. They've got, they're sitting in my quarter sheet pans that are also lined with the sheet pan liners. They've got a special size that's a half of the size of our regular sheet pan, but they're great for jobs like this. All right, so we've got that here. And I've got a kid who does not like onions and peppers, so I'm gonna do one that's kind of for him with just meat. Everybody's got those picky kids in their house, right? Okay, so we've got that. Lastly, what is a Philly cheesesteak without the cheese? So you can use whatever cheese you want. The recipe calls for provolone or mozzarella. I'm using marble cheese today because that's what I've got in the house at the moment. So we're just gonna put some cheese on that. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. Again, I still left it on. It's gonna go on for another 2 minutes or just enough to melt that cheese. And then they'll be ready to serve. Let's see how good those look. Really good, right? So again, 375, you pop those in for another 2 minutes and then they're gonna be ready to eat. Okay, they're all melted and ready to serve. Don't they look so good? The great thing about this meal too is that it is a total like cook once, eat twice meal. The leftovers in this are amazing on top of a salad the next day, or you can even put them into a wrap and have it like as a taco or fajita. They're wonderful. So I'm just gonna take this from my little tray here and move it over to the plate. We've got a salad, we've got some veggies, and there's dinner, all done in 15 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you might have seen something today that would work for you for dinner. So hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for watching, everyone.